Essentially what I want to run over today is that I want to highlight how you're going to get more out of your short workouts, right? Because the truth is that so many of us dancers are already living very, very hectic lifestyles. It's hard for us to have time to take 2 hours to go to the gym. And then you might say, yeah, but coach, my training program is only 45 minutes. It might be true. However, it still comes down to the simple fact that we can't just count the workout time, like the time you're actually working out. We gotta take from the time you are leaving your home until the time it's not even leaving your home, from the time you stop one task, start getting dressed, and then once you come back home doing another task. All of this time. So it's like door to door. First, you gotta get ready, you gotta put your clothes on, you gotta go to the gym. Let's say that takes 15 minutes. Then you gotta get dressed once again. Let's say that takes an additional 5-10 minutes. 25 minutes have already started. You gotta warm up, you do your workout. That takes approximately an hour 15. Then you gotta get dressed once again. You gotta commute back home, get shower, do all of that stuff. So before you're back on working out or doing something else, your next task, 2 hours have passed. Truth is that a lot of us dancers don't really have that time because we want to focus on dancing, right? So how do we get the most out of the time we are actually working out? It comes down to very, very simple things, very simple principles that we're constantly focusing over on here on Dance Specific Training. And I've already we've done a big webinar on just how important it is to be consistent. We ran over how important it is to frequency. And today we're going to talk about the intensity and how to rest properly, okay? How many of you can relate to this? You're doing your workout, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you chill a little bit, look at your phone, maybe look at a dance video, you chill, that was tough. Think about the stars, and then it's tough. Then you do another one. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you come back once again. Chilling. Not a lot of things are happening, right? So the big picture that I want to paint here is that I want us to change from thinking resting, and I want us to think about recharging. It's something that we talk about a lot, but a lot of you guys are sending me videos and I cannot stretch the importance of what it is that I'm trying to push here on you. So it's not only the intensity of the workout, the intensity of resting, it also comes down to the intention behind the recharge time that you guys have. So let's say you're doing your workout. 3, 2, 1, done. Get loose. I'm shaking my body, I'm jumping. I'm breathing heavy, I'm fueling myself. I'm not standing still, I'm still listening to loud music that I get hyped over. So I am constantly here. I'm constantly in the dancing space. It's the same thing when you're dancing. So when you're dancing and you're dancing with someone, you don't just let them go and then you go and you chill and you're looking at your partner doing some shines. Okay, here we go. Once again, I'm back. You know, like that's not what we are doing. We are actively engaging in their dancing, yes? So if you're letting that person go and he or she is styling, you're gonna do some type of styling yourself. Maybe you actually throw in some hip hop. Maybe you play a little bit with it. Maybe you do some Susie Q. Same thing happens here. We dancers must train like dancers because we only have just this much time to focus on our training. So let's say once again, you're doing your squats, 3, 2, 1, then up, listen to music, do your dancing, do some dance steps, be here, at least do some grooves, I practice my pops. Like you see me doing popping, you see me doing body isolation while being in my rest period. And it comes down to the simple fact that I want to keep my pulse up high. Because when on the dance floor do you ever go, let's say in this case we are doing bachata, let's say we're doing bachata. So when do you ever do a whole bachata thing, bam, 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 and you rest. When does that ever happen? It doesn't happen on the dance floor. So why are we doing that in the weight room? Because we are not going to the weight room only to build up muscles, right? We're not bodybuilders. We are in need to focus on the endurance as well as we need to focus on the bigger picture, which is, again, with training, we want to get stronger, probably want to put on some lean muscles, and we want to focus on our endurance. So instead of us only doing biceps curls like clowns, just focusing on getting bigger biceps, what is happening in between? What are we doing in the sets? How active are you? Do you ever stand in a toe squat hold? Just holding a toe squat while resting? Why not? You want to get the most into your workout. Stay active. Do jump and jacks. At least stay here. Listen to the music. Listen to the music. Listen to music. Let the music guide you. Sip on a cup of water. How do you think you're going to recharge if after you set, you just sit down and wait? How is that going to recharge you? I'm not saying you can't sit down and relax and catch your breath for a 20, 30, 40 seconds, but at some point you gotta get your ass up and get ready. You're getting up, getting ready for the next thing to happen when you're dancing. Thumbs up if this is making sense.